Hey everyone! So a few months ago, I posted a video about central casting and what it was like being an extra using that site. Now, I got a few messages asking me about other sites, if I could review them, if I've used them, and the only other site I've used is LA Casting. And I actually was casted as an extra for the new Top Gun sequel, Top Gun Maverick, which was supposed to come out this summer, but then got pushed, and I think it's now coming out in the winter. But I thought I'd talk about what it was like using LA Casting and my experience on that set. So about a year ago, I signed up for LA Casting at the same time that I signed up for Central Casting. And my goal was always to be an extra on TV shows or movie sets or anything that was gonna just show me what Hollywood sets were, how they ran. I wanted to learn and observe and maybe make some connections on the filmmaking side. I was never trying to be an actor or do anything really professional with that. It was simply just to get on set and to learn and to maybe make some connections. And of course, it was nice to get paid to do that too. Before I get into my Top Gun experience, I just want to break down LA Casting, how the website works, and how it was for me. So LA Casting is a paid membership site where actors or extras or models go on and sign up for a profile. There are two profile options. There's basically a basic one and a premium one. The basic one is pretty limited. It costs $15.79 a month to use, and the premium one costs $21.63 a month. When you sign up for either the basic or the premium one, there's an additional $25 fee just to set everything up. So the basic profile allows you to upload one photo, and this is a photo that's going to be submitted to all the casting people when you submit to a post. It only comes with one photo and it's very, very basic. If you wanted to upgrade for the premium, that allows you to upload as many photos as you want. It allows you to upload your acting reel or any video clips that you want. And it allows you to submit to as many casting notices as you want. So basically, if you want to be successful with this site, you kind of have to use the premium version. So for a few months, I decided to upgrade for the premium so I can have more photos of me, to have some clips, and to be able to apply to more notices. But honestly, it wasn't really working for me. I would apply to so many things, from music videos, TV shows, movies, commercials, series, literally everything that would fit my description and that would make sense for me to apply to, and I wasn't having any luck. I felt pretty discouraged. I felt like I was wasting my money, wasting my time, and I could just easily be focusing on Central Casting, which was free to use and which seemed to have a better chance of me getting something, because at that point I was already casted as an extra for 2 other shows. But one night I decided to just go on there and look again, and I was going through all the casting notices when I saw something that might work for me. It was called California Girl, and it basically just wanted any type of body type girl who looked like she could just be in California, and they wanted you to send a separate email also of your measurements, of your head shot, and of a body shot. And they basically said like the most recent, so it didn't have to be professional. You could literally just take a photo of yourself now just to send it to them. And that's something that also Central Casting does a lot. They just want the most recent photo of you, sometimes no makeup or with makeup or wearing certain clothes, so that's pretty common. And then a few hours later, I got a confirmation saying that I was good to go for a military extra for Island Plaza. I was kind of confused when they said military extra because I had submitted for California Girl. But then when I asked them, they basically said that they were looking for different looks, so they posted different notices like California Girl, but they were all military extras. And then after a little bit of Googling, I learned that Island Plaza was the code name for Top Gun Maverick. So the casting department emailed me everything from where I needed to be, when, what I needed to wear, how my hair and makeup needed to be, everything. They basically wanted me to bring black boots or black shoes, a black belt, and to do my hair and makeup very conservative, and that they would provide everything else. So the next day I showed up on set. There was about 200 other extras there, and they all had different call times, so you would sign up with the casting department depending on that call time. So if it wasn't your call time yet, you had to go sit down at the table and the chairs and wait until they called up your call time. My call time was 9:30, so it was one of the very last groups. So I went up, they handed me a packet, and then they told me to sit back down, and then they would start calling people from their last name. So basically they started with the letter A all the way down to Z. And that basically would allow them to be very organized with when they would check people in. They would take your packet and then write a character on your packet. And it was basically 4 different characters that all the extras were. They were different type of military, like pilots. There was one called Dark Star. There was like an office worker, and there was a few other ones. Well, when I went up, I gave my packet to the lady, and then she wrote maintenance on my paper, which basically meant I was gonna play a maintenance worker. I wasn't really excited when I saw that. I didn't know what to say, but I figured, like, who the heck am I? You know, I'm not gonna argue with her. I'm just gonna take it and we'll see what happens. Well, when I went to wardrobe and they saw that I had maintenance on there, they went through all their maintenance clothes, and really they only had like 4 huge jumpsuits, like basically like huge dark blue jumpsuits, and none of them fit me. They were really, really big. They were like basically for a man, like a tall man. So they tried maybe going through other options, other jackets, pants, things like that, and nothing really worked for a maintenance person. So then they went back to the casting person and asked them if it was okay to change my character to something else. And she said it was fine, and so they ended up changing me to kind of a military person that was off duty. It was very vague, so instead of having like a full-on military outfit, I had some camo and some khakis and some black Converse, and I wasn't really an office worker, but I wasn't really like, you know, working on duty military. So it was very vague just because I was one of the last people, and so they were running out of wardrobe that would work. So I just want to pause right there and kind of give my 2 cents on what I think happened and kind of why it rubbed me the wrong way. I don't think that woman that wrote maintenance on my paper was racist or was ill-intended or anything like that. I simply think it's the result of underrepresentation in Hollywood and the repeated stereotyping of people of color. And even as an extra, I feel like it matters when we watch something and subconsciously the people in the background are in stereotypical roles. I think it matters. The only other person that I saw once we were on set that was actually a maintenance person was a black person. And I don't think it was because he was the only one that fit into that maintenance wardrobe. I think the perception of maintenance workers and other service jobs have been molded by previous decades in Hollywood, and unfortunately that continues to influence casting decisions. Even though we are a little bit more progressive and claim to be more progressive, those decisions continue to be made. And I'm not saying people of color aren't maintenance workers and other service workers. I'm just saying that they're not exclusively people of color, and Hollywood doesn't really seem to understand that. And like I said, I'm not even trying to be an actor, but of the 3 background extra positions I've been casted as, one, I was an ICE detainee, literally about to be deported. And the second one, I was Latina girl at a Dia de los Muertos festival, and this one I was almost a maintenance worker but then turned into obscure military person. So what I'm saying, the roles that people of color play as leads and extras are limited, and that's kind of why it rubbed me the wrong way, just because I didn't really see anybody else being put as a maintenance worker, and the one person I did see was a person of color, so that's just kind of why it made me do a double take. So basically, once I was done with wardrobe and they kind of put me in this camo shirt, khakis, kind of casual look, I was sent to hair and makeup. And hair and makeup on the set was pretty interesting. So people were getting buzz cuts, well, men were getting buzz cuts, and their facial hair was being shaved and all this stuff. And I just wanted to bring that up because when sets do that, you actually get a bump in your pay. So if a set has to cut your hair in any way, that becomes a pay increase for you. None of the women, I don't think, did have to get their hair cut. They basically put their hair in a bun or braids or something very military-esque or conservative. So for me, I think my hair was in a braid or a bun. I can't remember exactly. And then they did my makeup a little bit and that was it. But on other sets, I heard that you could also get bumped if you have to be in front of a fog machine, or if you bring your own wardrobe and you wear it during the scene, things like that. I am not 100% about the fog machine because in one of the sets I was in front of a fog machine the entire time and I didn't see a bump in my pay at all. So I'm not entirely sure about all that, but there are definitely opportunities where you can get bumped up, like this haircut scenario. So once my hair and makeup was done, a bunch of us got shuttled onto a bus and taken to the set in the city. I can't give too much away, not that I really know what the scene was or the context of the scene. As an extra, you don't really know. You don't get a call sheet, you don't get any information outside of what you're doing and where to go and when to do it. So basically, I don't really know exactly where this scene sits. So I'm gonna be discreet just to not give anything away, even though I don't really know what it was. But essentially, Tom Cruise was in this scene. Now remember, there are about 200, maybe 300 extras on set. Tom Cruise smiled and said hi and thanked a lot of the extras. When he was going between takes, he would say thank you and that he appreciates us, because the scene was mostly all of us standing on our feet, walking around, just being on our feet for the entire day. And so he was very appreciative of us, and he would talk to some of us and just smile and just be super, super nice. And that really made me like him. That's the first time I've seen an actor, especially an A-list actor, interact with the extras and even the crew like that. Most of the time, in between takes, the actors keep to themselves to stay in character or to just, you know, be on their own or whatever. And this is the first time I saw an actor actually interacting with us. And I say that he was also being super nice to the crew too, because the camera team had a very difficult shot to film that had to be timed perfectly by the camera team and by everybody that was acting in the scene. So there was multiple times where things weren't perfect and we had to do the scene again, do a different take. And so he was being very, very nice to the crew if it was their mistake or vice versa. They were all just being very kind. And at one point, I made eye contact with Tom Cruise, and I really hope this makes it into the final edit of the movie. But it probably won't. You probably won't even see me in it because there's 300, 200 extras. But me and Tom, we made eye contact and it was magical, and it happened whether you see it or not. So once we were done, we were shuttled back to the holding area. We all removed our wardrobe and got released, and we were sent home. And overall, it was a pretty nice shoot. It was very simple. All the extras, all of us that were involved in this scene, it was literally just one scene that we were filming all day. It was very simple. Like I said, we were on our feet the entire day for maybe 6 hours or so, and it was pretty tiring, but there was really no way around it. Like in between takes, people did sit down on the floor, but there's really no way around being on your feet. It was really cool seeing how a huge Hollywood feature film operated. That was my first time on one of those types of sets. The other extra work that I did was for TV shows, so this was a little bit different. And overall, it was a great experience. So back to LA casting. I finished this film and I kind of kept the subscription for a couple more weeks until I decided to cancel it, simply because it wasn't really working for me. Like I said, I was focusing on being an extra and getting on set to learn and not really be an actor. So for me, central casting was just more successful and just better for me, since I didn't have to pay money to get turned down a bunch of times, essentially. But if you're really trying to focus on acting and start your acting career, then I definitely would suggest looking at LA Casting and seeing if it's right for you. But if you just want to be an extra or get started that way, then central casting will probably be better for you. Like I said, I don't want to throw any shade to this movie or to that casting department about almost being casted as a maintenance person. Like I said, I think it's a Hollywood issue in general, and it wasn't specific to this movie. I had a great time on this movie, and I just think it's an interesting story and something interesting to note about it. But I had a great experience on this film, so I definitely don't want to make it seem like there was any negative feelings toward it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe for more videos. Thanks, guys. Oh, and one last thing, I just wanted to say thank you to those people that have bought t-shirts or stickers with my design on it. I'm wearing this t-shirt right now. I just wanted to say thank you, and that if you're interested in getting a sticker or a t-shirt or literally any kind of product that you could get with this design on it, the link is in my bio. It is inspired by Rosie the Riveter, and she is holding a camera, and I just kind of wanted to make a design inspiring women and encouraging women, and I'm going to continue to make some more designs, so definitely look out for that. But for those that have already bought stickers and stuff like that, thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate it.